Hey guys, and welcome back to another PAX Pokemon League video. So this is a AR game that's played at all of the different PAXs, where you basically challenge a bunch of different gym leaders wearing green scarves, get badges, and then eventually challenge a champion if you're good enough. But today, let's just dive right into the match. So we're going to be facing Carrie, the Postmaster, whose signature Pokemon is Pelipper. So as you can see here, my team is way different from the last time you saw this team in the last video. Basically, I decided to actually make a doubles team on the fly. I just took Pokemon that were already in my box. The only thing I wasn't able to do was put Draco Meteor on the Dragapult, so unfortunately that's running a couple of moves that I'm not super fond of, but it works. So my strategy was just, let's just blast whatever the opponent has with Chien-Pao and Dragonite, and if I need to clean up later, I clean up with Volcarona or Dragapult. And then I figured Rillaboom and Amoonguss, you can just kind of slap it to any team, so I just threw those on there. As you guys can see, we're facing a Pelipper, Dragonite, Iron Bundle, stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of flying Pokemon. There's going to be rain. I have to keep that in mind because of my Volcarona. With Volcarona, you know, being fire, obviously, I'm going to want to take out that Pelipper early and see if I can take care of that. However, Bundle is a huge threat to my team. I have a lot of Pokemon, I think 3 or 4 actually, that are weak to ice. So both of these Pokemon are they're just threats. What you need to know is that the Iron Bundle is going to Terra flying on the first turn, because of the rule for the gym leaders, everything has to be the same type, or at least in the same theme or whatever. So since Iron Bundle did not really fit the flying type, they had to Terra on turn 1. So I knew that was going to happen, which meant I knew this was going to be a pretty safe turn, unless they protected, I guess. But, you know, this was an intermediate level team, so I wasn't expecting a ton of protects. So I decided to bring out Chien-Pao because Chien-Pao now threatens both of them. And now that they got the Tailwind up, for some reason you see me freaking out in the thing. I think I freaked out because, like, I just totally forgot that Pelipper gets Tailwind. Truth be told, it's really hard to play in an environment like this because there's just so many people around you, there's a lot of noise, and, you know, the gym leaders like to talk to you a little bit, which is, you know, just some friendly talk. And while I love it, sometimes I just kind of lose focus, especially somebody with ADD. It's like really hard for me to stay focused. But anyway, so now I know I have to, both of these Pokemon are probably the prime threats on this team that I have to take out. So I'm gonna swap to Amoonguss, and even if Amoonguss ate a ice move here, which it obviously didn't, but even if it did, I wasn't super threatened by it. However, that really hurt, so now I'm a little concerned. I mean, I was able to get the Iron Bundle off the field, so at least that threat is kind of dealt with, but I took a lot of damage for that turn, just due to the fact that I lost out on Tailwind. I should have been a little bit more proactive and realized that they're probably going to leave Pelipper and set up for that a little bit more appropriately. Like, I probably should have faked out the Pelipper. But anyway, can't go back now. So now the Kilowattrel comes out, and I'm not super threatened by this on my team in general. However, it is obviously a little threatening because of the fact that, you know, I have 2 Pokemon at 1 HP. So I obviously had to go for the Protect Sucker Punch. I felt like this was the best play here. And, you know, I'm obviously going to lose one of them this turn, so I just figured I'll keep the Amoonguss around. In hindsight, I maybe should have swapped around the Chien-Pao, but the thing is, I just felt like Sucker Punch got so much value, and it was just totally worth it in the end. So now I'm swapping out into Dragapult. So I don't remember if I mentioned earlier because I recorded this like 3 times, but there is a sleep cause, so I can only sleep 1 Pokemon at a time on the opponent's team. So I have to be a little careful with it. Sometimes I just feel like in a format like this, it's probably just better to follow me, or I'm sorry, Rage Powder. So I figured, okay, let me just get all the damage on Amoonguss, and let's just get rid of this Dragapult. Because unfortunately with Tailwind, I didn't think Dragapult would be able to take 2 attacks. And then I also forgot that Phantom Force kind of sucks. Unfortunately, that was the only move I could really put on it in the time. I had like 5 minutes to hurry up and swap this team up, and I didn't have Draco Meteor, so I didn't really have much of an option. But anyway, so I go for the E-Speed, but I went into a Protect. It's fine. I did take care of the Pelipper, so now I'm kind of at a spot where once this rain goes down, Volcarona can sweep for me. The only problem is I have to kind of keep my Terra for it, because I think the Terra on it is fire. I have to remember. But anyway, their Dragapult, or their Dragonite comes out as well. So this is when I remember that I was banded and I could not change my attack. Oh, excuse me. I'm recording this in the morning before I have a whole full day of like stuff I gotta get done. So anyway, we're gonna do the classic Protect. Try to E-Speed, but of course they read that, so they protected as well. But I had to go Protect anyway, so this was kind of just like a nothing turn. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of Terra normal, which I kind of thought I'd do more damage than I do. But in hindsight, I think I should have saved it for the Volcarona. But either way, just because I know like Dragonite doesn't get a ton of value here moving forward, I probably should have just saved it for the Volcarona, knowing that they're all flying types, and Volcarona's bug. And like I said, I believe it's not a bug Terra. But anyway, I did that, and you could see me in the background just being like, come on, because it did like no damage. But okay, so this Dragonite Scale Shot, and it did a lot of damage. So now I'm like in a spot where I'm like, oh, I think I just lost the swing of the battle. I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get that momentum back while I'm losing Rillaboom. Now, I think I forgot. Did I forget that this was... Oh, I now remember. I didn't know what ability Dragonite was, so I was afraid to fake it out. I know this is an intermediate team, but I felt like just getting damage was probably more important here. So I just went for the damage. That's why I didn't fake out. If I faked that out, that would have been... Like, if I knew the ability, that would have been the optimal play for sure. But anyway, I'm down to 3 Pokemon now. Really 2.5, because Dragapult's 1 hit from dying. And so I decided this is the time to bring Volcarona out. It's not raining. I have the threat of Dragonite anyway, so somebody's going to be doing some damage this turn. And I think Tailwind is ending this turn, or Tailwind just ended. I forgot. But I was thinking about Tailwinding for my own team. However, honestly, outside of the Dragapult, I'm not like super afraid of the speed tiers. I'm sorry, not Dragapult, Dragonite. So I just decided, screw it. Let's just get some damage down on the field, and I'll just speed up my Volcarona the fun way. Gliscor is a little bit stally, and I don't really want to play this stall game because I am going to lose that. So I need to figure out a way around this and just put the pressure on so that Gliscor doesn't end up sweeping me late game. I can't tell you guys how many games I've lost to Gliscor, and I just don't want to lose to one again. So, obviously the Dragonite's going to go for the Scale Shot and just knock out my Dragapult. I mean, I could have swapped it out, but I figured at this point Dragapult is just going to be fodder. Maybe that wasn't the right call, but I think it ended up working out in the long run. So now I have to deal with the fact that this Gliscor is just going to sit here and heal, which is so annoying. And then this is where I have to make the pivotal decision because I'm banded. I can't swap out. And unfortunately, I'm Terra Normal. So with E-Speed only having 1 PP left, I had to go for the Outrage, which I don't really like doing, but I had to do it. I decided to go for the Tailwind here, which, truth be told, I probably should have gone for it earlier, but it is what it is. I did knock out the Gliscor, which was a little bit of a surprise. I'm glad it actually ended up killing. And then now from this point, I'm in a pretty good position to win this, especially with the Dragonite being burned. I mean, I'm not really threatened that the Dragonite's going to kill anything, so I just have to deal with the Corviknight. The thing is, Corviknight's main attack anyway is a body press. It could hit me with Aerial Ace or Acrobatics or whatever it is that flying move that it carries, but I'm not like super concerned. It's really just this Dragon Shot that's like really, or Scale Shot is really just like hurting, but Volcarona is a beast and survived. What's scary too is that it's like the Dragonite also just keeps getting faster, but at this point, like, I'm locked into Outrage. It's probably gonna, yeah, I was gonna say, the only question was whether or not that Outrage was gonna hit the Corviknight or the Dragonite. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know if I'm going to post my 3rd match or not, but either way, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time.